Welcome to this third module of the unit devoted to the instrumental approach in the project ICMAI Awardees Multimedia Online Resources. In this module, as announced, I will explain why and how the anthropological theory of the didactic, ATD, entered the instrumental approach. Why ATD? Because this theory offers powerful tools to approach the essential institutional dimension of instrumental genesis, the conditions and constraints influencing these at very different levels, the economy and ecology of instrumented teaching and learning practices, and also because it provides a dialectic vision of the relationship between technical and conceptual activity. As I already explained, constructing an alternative discourse to the one prevailing in mass education research regarding CAS technology was a necessity when the instrumental approach emerged. We needed a discourse allowing us to break with the conceptual, technical opposition. As I did for the ergonomic perspective, I will focus on two main elements of ATD incorporated in the instrumental approach. For a detailed presentation of ATD, you are invited to vision the unit devoted to Yves Chevalard's research work. The first element is the concept of praxeology, used in ATD to model any kind of human practice. In its simplest form, a praxeology is a quadruplet made of a type of task, a technique for solving this type of task, a technological discourse or technology used to describe, explain, and justify the technique, and a theory which provides a background for the technological discourse. In order to avoid misunderstanding, as I use here the word technology with two different meanings, I will use italics when technology denotes a praxeological element in the slides, and orally I will use the expression technological discourse instead of technology in case there is a risk of confusion. Type of tasks and techniques constitute the practical block of praxeologies, while technologies and theories constitute their theoretical block. ATD pays specific attention to the dialectic interaction between these two blocks. This is an essential point to break with the pejoration of techniques and technical work often observed in the mathematics education discourse. One should add that in ATD, the word technique has a wider meaning than is usual in the educational discourse. A technique is a manner of solving a task, and as soon as one goes beyond the body of routine tasks for a given institution, each technique is a combination of reasoning and routine work. The introduction of a digital artifact, for instance, a symbolic calculator, for dealing with a given type of mathematical tasks, for instance, for studying the variation of functions, leads to the development of new techniques and new praxeology, technological discourse. Thus, new praxeologies necessarily emerge. But new praxeologies are also likely to emerge because the technology generates types of tasks with no equivalent in paper and pencil environment. What are the characteristics of these new praxeologies? How far away are they from the traditional paper and pencil praxeologies associated with the same type of tasks when these exist? How are they institutionally dealt with? How does it impact the progressive structuration of point praxeologies leading to local and regional praxeologies? And beyond the sole mathematical praxeology, how does it impact the didactical praxeologies? In order to address such questions, an ATD construct is especially useful. The hierarchy of levels of codeterminacy. It helps us approach the system of conditions and constraints shaping learning and teaching processes in any kind of didactic institution and the interactions between them. This hierarchy distinguishes 10 levels from the level of a particular mathematics topic, for instance, the study of linear functions, to the level of civilization associated with conditions and constraints that transcend those of a particular society, and up to the recent added level of humankind. Digital technologies move these systems of condition and constraints, but conversely, the ecology of instrumented praxeologies is also shaped by them. At the highest level of the hierarchy, for instance, there is no doubt that the fact that we live today in digital and interconnected societies influences the forms of access to knowledge and the social interaction at stake in teaching and learning processes. Thus, it moves condition and constraints with effect on the ecology of instrumented praxeologies. At the school level, there is no doubt that the technological evolution is a source of curricular changes, opening the door to new praxeological organization. But the impact of these changes is often reduced by material constraints or conditions such as the allowance or not of calculators in high-scale assessments. The ecology of instrumented praxeologies is also influenced by conditions and constraints situated at the pedagogical level. For instance, the pedagogical role given to technology, for increasing student motivation, for supporting the differentiation or individualization of teaching and learning, for supporting the development of inquiry-based practices. Conditions and constraints situated at this level a priori regard all disciplines. In the lower levels of the hierarchy of the codeterminacy, we more especially consider those specific of the discipline, in our case, mathematics. For instance, how do the availability of dynamic geometry software in schools and their recommended use in curricula move the conditions and constraints of geometry teaching? How do they influence the personal and institutional relationship to proof, geometrical proof? How does the legitimate use of CAS calculators in high school change the condition and constraints for the teaching of calculus and functions? Combining the ergonomic perspective with ATD enlarges thus the perspective and changes the lens. It moves the focus from the cognitive analysis of student instrumental genesis to the ways the genesis are shaped by institutional conditions and constraints. the changes in the economy and ecology of mathematical praxeology induced by the use of technological artifacts. It also moves the focus from schemes to techniques. I will end this module showing an interesting phenomenon of hybridization that resulted from this combination. The distinction introduced between the epistemic and pragmatic value of techniques. This distinction has its origin in the ergonomic perspective, where it is stressed that schemes are multifunctional. They combine epistemic, pragmatic, and heuristic functions, respectively focused on the understanding of situation, on their transformation to get results, and on the piloting and control of the activity. The combination with ATD led to transfer these functionalities to techniques, pointing out that these have both epistemic and pragmatic values. And the transfer was insightful, allowing us to identify and express some important phenomena. The first important point is that the educational legitimacy of techniques is based on both their epistemic and pragmatic values. The example of the technique of long division, source of so many hot debates in education, despite its very low pragmatic value today, illustrates this point quite well. The second point is that the introduction of powerful artifacts, such as calculators or CAS, breaks the traditional balance between these values, increasing the pragmatic value of techniques most often at the expense of their epistemic value. For instance, there is no doubt that using a CAS, you can solve a complete list of quadratic equations in a few minutes without learning anything substantial about the topic. In order to learn about the topic with a CAS, new praxeology must be developed with new type of task and a renewed technological discourse. This is possible, as shown by CAS research, but we have also observed the difficulty of didactic systems at creating or even appropriating such praxeologies. In fact, conditions and constraints situated at the highest level of the hierarchy of codeterminacy contribute to the stability of such an educational state. The difficulty just mentioned partly results from the fact that educational systems tend to consider technologies just as pedagogical adjuvants, at best, mediation tools. Roughly speaking, technology should allow students to learn quicker, easier, and better, more or less the same mathematics. This position is itself linked to a vision of mathematics as a field of knowledge universal by essence, both in time and space. A vision still culturally dominant, despite the evidence provided by many studies that this is not the case. I will stop here for the introduction of the key concepts of the instrumental approach. In the next module, we will see how they have been practically used in CAS research, with what outcomes. Thank you.